tonight's topic, we're talking about waiting versus creating and to stop holding back on your goals. So I know this is a good one for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to get into it.
Me too.
Sweet.
Me too. I love a good push. I'm a
You're
I'm
a
a total
pusher.
pusher. If Beth would ever unmute herself, y'all would hear some shit.
That's funny.
I'm the pusher of all pushers. I'm like, just do it. I don't know what it is. Just do it. So yeah, I'm all about I should take my own advice at times. So don't think I don't have my own journey I'm on. But I'm very good at cheerleading other people.
One of the things I saw earlier that I thought was good to just set the tone is that you can't manifest what you're not moving toward. It's very easy to say things, but you have to actually do something to start pushing that pedal towards where you're trying to go.
For sure. Yeah. Movement of any kind. Yeah. So if you guys aren't following along on the document for whatever reason, the topic is waiting versus creating, stop holding back on your goals. And we're going to go through all of the ways we limit ourselves and tell ourselves that we're not ready, or as soon as this is done, I can do this, and blah, 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 blah. All the things we tell ourselves instead of just doing something. Yeah, I feel like we get stuck, and being stuck is never going to get you closer to what you want to be, or who you want to be, or where you want to go, or your ultimate feeling like you're getting closer to your goal. I'm excited to dive in to pick apart some people's excuses or reasons why not.
I like even just your definitions in this document. So, quick definitions. The definition for waiting is passive, fear-based inaction disguised as preparation. Creating is more bold, messy, action-oriented movement that builds clarity, confidence, and results. I know for me personally, I've definitely been a victim of using preparation as an excuse.
Same.
And it feels comfortable, like you're like, I need to do X, Y, and Z before I can do this thing, which I think it also depends on where you're at in the moment, because I've also been on the other side where like I didn't have another option. So it was like, okay, I'm just gonna make these messy moves because I have to start moving in order to see how this falls apart. Like, I really think it just depends where you're at, because where I'm at right now is a more of I've been more focused on my fitness and my health. And so I'm putting the business stuff on a back burner because I don't necessarily need that right this second. But I've been on the opposite side where it's like all I had was my business. So I was like, okay, I need to go do X, Y, and Z, even if it looks messy. So it's interesting to have experienced both sides of that.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's always, if you're given the opportunity, I feel like to come up with an excuse not to, especially if it's something that's not comfortable, then you're
Yeah.
going to use it every time. So there's times where you're not given an opportunity and you have to jump and you're like, oh shit, this wasn't that bad. It wasn't ideal, but it
Hmm.
wasn't that bad. But we always turn it into this whole thing. It's not just right. People are not going to take me seriously. It's not the way I want to show up. And it's no, no, showing up is the answer. Whatever that
Hmm.
looks like, that's the answer. And then you can always refine, but showing up is the only way to learn. And I feel like other people can put it a lot more eloquently, but if you don't take that first initial step, then you're not going to learn the same way as if you sat there like learning as much as you can about it and psyching yourself up, because I feel like the longer that you sit and prepare and feel like you're doing stuff by watching YouTube videos or reading books or whatever before you take that initial step, you feel like you're actually doing something when in reality you're not. You're not
Hmm.
actually like doing the thing, which is the only way to get better at the thing. But there's that false sense of doing it when you're learning about it that makes us not feel like we're being lazy or that we're not doing anything. And in reality, you just got to do it.
Hmm.
And
And
you
I
can learn
think,
along the way.
oh yeah, and that's the best way to learn. I think it's also just like fear-based too, at least for me, like a lot of what I want to do. And it's crazy because it's like I can see it and I still refuse to do it. But sharing more of my story, I think, is really important to what I want to do. And even just from the standpoint of my biggest goal right now is to help encourage people and motivate people to go after what they want to do and to live a life on their terms. And it's selfish of me to not do what I see in my head because even though I feel like I'm living on my own terms right now, which is great. I'm in a place in my life where this is something I had always wanted to work towards, but I feel the obligation to share that with other people and to not do that just because I feel I don't know if insecure is the right word, but yeah, it just feels weird, like the whole content and recording and posting yourself and all, it feels cringy, but I'm like, who cares? What do you mean? If the message behind what I'm doing has a purpose, then what's holding me back type of thing.
Agreed. On the subject of content creation, I saw some content creator who was like, when I started, I was so concerned with people that I knew judging me or looking at me funny that I blocked all of them. And I was like, it's not a bad idea. I like that idea. Because you don't, at least for me, you don't care so much about like strangers and people who don't know you because you
Right.
want them to be attracted to you. But it's the people that do know you who are going to be like in your head, this is not what they're actually thinking. In
Mhm.
your head, you're like, they're going to be like, who's this chick trying to talk about XYZ? Or look at how her hair's crazy or whatever it is. Like, these are the things that you tell yourself in your head. No one cares,
Oh yeah.
legitimately. No one freaking cares. And the people who, like, let's just say there's a handful of negative people, who cares what the fuck they think? They're probably not your people. And the people who you are usually worried about are actually just either not paying attention or are secretly quietly cheering you on.
Lauren, you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I block people.
Same,
I
I
block
do.
people.
I block my
Especially,
mom.
yeah, that's a
It's
whole
a
other
whole
job. But the thing is, it's just, especially people like in my hometown who, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's like emotional scar tissue or whatever for people who were, I don't know, I guess kind of shitty to me growing up. And then for some reason, I'm like, maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, but I'm friends with them on social or I follow them on social. But I've been posting more and it's not so much like video stuff, but I've been featured in other people's videos with my business and everything. And even then, even though the focal point is not 100% on me, I still feel weird about it. It's almost like I'm not embarrassed by what I do by any means, but it's like there's a certain level of vulnerability that it takes to put yourself out there. And I feel like I'm constantly wrestling with that. I don't know. And I don't think when I say this, it's not necessarily a limiting belief, but it's just something I'm trying to continuously work on. I'm always probably going to struggle with it, but I'm getting better with learning how to deal with it and just be like, fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway. So obviously there's something pressing on my mind or in my heart that needs to be said. So I might as well say it, or else I'm gonna feel like shit for not sharing it. Huge proponent
and
on blocking those people, though.
totally. You gotta block them. I block my mom because she always has something to say about me
Oh
cursing.
yeah,
Or she wants to like heart blast everything and tell me I look pretty in all my videos. And I'm like, this is a business page, Ma. You can't just be like, you look so cute. I'm like, business, stop.
the algorithm likes it with engagement, regardless.
I know, but it's just too much. One of the things that I reframed my insecurities about showing up was I imagined myself as a younger version of me and how much I would appreciate myself showing up. Like hearing someone like me showing up, seeing all the things that I've been through, and yet I show up.
Mhm.
And knowing that that is the kind of person who I'd be like, oh my gosh, look at her. She doesn't look like everybody else on Instagram or whatever. She's still brave enough to get on here and talk about her story and talk about what she's doing and look at what she's accomplished. That's what I try to tell myself so that I don't think too much about the cringy insecurity parts of it. I mean, it still pop up, but I do think to myself, like all of the people who do resonate with whatever it is that you're showing up for are gonna just be so happy to see someone like themselves or someone that they can resonate with that isn't that cookie cutter, perfect showing up person that they see everywhere that they can't relate to.
Yeah, I think it's easy to look at it from the creating, like right now, we're in a time where social media is so prevalent to so many different things, like whether it's your own personal business that you're building or just a personal brand of like who you are. There's different uses for social media, but I think looking at this topic of waiting versus creating, it would be interesting to hear a different standpoint of somebody, not necessarily on the subject of the social media side of it, if that makes sense, but really just where are you right now with something that you're trying to create that you might be thinking about, but you're just waiting on it for whatever reason. I don't know if anyone wants to share.
Yeah, because it's definitely not just social media, it's creating anything, right? Like creating a new habit, creating a new business, creating artwork, who knows what it could be, but there's the magic happens when you stop waiting and do whatever it is. Creating a relationship, there's so many different avenues that you can take that down, but the bravery comes in on the
Mm.
creating side.
What you got, Meg?
I was just gonna say, I feel like my whole life is like that. Like even like little things. Wait until we get to the new house. Wait until we do. And with the business, it's always waiting for funds, waiting for funds. But I don't know. I wanted to mention the Let Them book by Mel Robbins because she's got a whole chapter about what you guys were talking about, like with the social media and stuff, and like how everybody would. She was afraid everybody would look down on her. That's not who you really are. People change and stuff like that. But that's a big thing that plays in my head rent free. You know what I mean? Is like, you got to stop worrying about everybody else because the right people will find you. And there's somebody out there that needs what you're saying. So,
For sure.
Yeah, it boggles my mind when I think about it's even though social media I feel can have a really bad connotation to it, there's so much power that can come behind it because it's the first time in history that people can access anybody around the world and you can curate what you're seeing on your feed or the people that are coming into your circle. That's something that people weren't able to do 20, 30 years ago, like being able to build a community around people that actually share values that you have. Like you can go out and find people intentionally. And I think that's what's really cool about it.
For sure.
My big thing right now is social media aside, it's I do real estate. My niche is more like high risk investment real estate. So everyone has an opinion about Airbnb, and especially like agents in my circle who've been doing it 20, 30 years. They'll just have like colorful opinions about like Airbnb. It's not going to last, or it's not something that you can really make any money on. I'm like, are you sure about that? Because we do really well. And it's just frustrating because it's almost because of their experience in my head, it makes me feel like they have to talk about something when in reality, they don't really know anything about the topic. And for me, I'm pretty direct and straight up about things. So my thing is being able to share my opinion or kind of challenge their opinions about my business with confidence because it's I don't know, that's like something that I'm struggling with. So I guess for lack of a better way of saying it, it's like standing in my own truth and like digging my heels into it rather than folding because someone has more transaction experience. It doesn't matter if you've sold 500 properties. If you know anything about a specific topic, then I feel like that should humble you a little bit to try to understand it. But with that topic specifically in my market, it's polarizing with people.
For sure. I would invite you to ask why you care what they have to say or why you feel like you need to defend yourself in any kind of way. Because really, I was in real estate too, and we'd go to networking events and people would talk shit about the fact that we are helping people get out of foreclosure and not just straight up trying to buy their property. Like, why are you giving them support? And they're like, you're never going to make money that way. You're being too kind. And I used to get defensive and just be like, oh, I have to explain to them our whole thing and really just help them understand. And then I just stopped. I was like, no, we're going to these real estate networking events where these people have done so many different transactions, like they come from so many different walks of life. I know what I'm walking into, and I'm just gonna smile and nod because I don't give a fuck. I literally don't care what you have to say. I'm living my path. I'm moving the way I need to move. I'm doing my business the way I need to. And it eventually obviously paid off really well. But nonetheless, like there was points at which like we weren't making money and it did get into our heads and we were like, maybe they're right. And if you let other people doubt what you're creating, then you're going to start slowing down. You're going to start overthinking things. When in reality, if you can just say to yourself, like, people are going to have opinions, period. And what I do with that is for me to discern and for me to figure out. But I know I'm walking into an environment where people are going to have opinions, and I'm okay with that. And I'm just going to smile and nod, and I'm not going to defend myself because I don't care and I don't need to.
Everything that you said, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that we look for outside validation when we're trying to do things. And most of the times, the people that we're surrounding ourselves with aren't necessarily doing what we're doing. So it's definitely, you have to be very careful about the feedback that you allow into your circle because you can, like you were saying, like it when you're not seeing the results that you're hoping for, it's hard to not be like, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe they know something I don't, but they were never in your shoes to begin with. And you guys are the perfect example because you persevered anyway and then saw the results that you were looking for. And I feel like it's like that with a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't have your vision, right? Like they don't know what you're building. Only you do. And there's no criticism to getting caught up in other people's opinions. And it isn't until you like start reinforcing some of that like self-belief and recognizing this is a pattern, this is normal. Human beings love giving their opinion. Human beings love chiming in. Human beings want to be helpful most of the time, and if you take it from that side of they're just trying to be helpful, but it's not necessarily applicable to
Mhm.
my situation, you can just be like, thank you. I hadn't thought of it that way. And meantime, you're in your head just being like, shut the fuck up. I do not,
Yeah.
I didn't ask for your opinion, number one. And number two, I'm good. But we're on a mission to one, be a good human being, but then two, probably networking or make connections or whatever. And so it's okay. That's my North Star for today. And so I'm here to schmooze, I'm here to be kind and get connections, but I'm not here to necessarily get your advice. And yet here we are. And so if you're clear on what you're creating and the direction that you're going, oftentimes it's a lot easier to stay the course and allow everything else to just be the noise that's happening around you.
Oh yeah. And on the other end of the token, I'm guilty of I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a former oversharer, but I'm oversharer in recovery is probably a more accurate way to put it. But sometimes it's yeah, you're right. Most of the time people do want to help other humans and I want to help people. But my advice and my pathway to success is maybe not theirs. And it's probably not something that they want to hear now. So it's, I got to fire a warning shots. Do you want advice or do you just want me to listen to you? And then it's choose your own destiny at that point. Choose your own destiny at that
Yeah.
point.
And it's something I don't remember who I learned it from, but there's that like level of invitation, right? I have some thoughts on that and I've had experience in that. If you're interested, maybe we can sit down and have coffee sometime. Then that opens it up to them, be like, no, I need all of your help. Then that allows you to do whatever it is that you want to do. So that's a way I wish a lot of people would approach it instead of just, oh, you're doing that? Well, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, here we go.
Here we go.
It's funny. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how, because I feel like for the most part, we've touched on these points here, the key points that we had. Like the clarity comes from action. You just got to start doing it. I think we've talked about this before of being aware of where you want to go, having a purpose for where you're trying to get to. And really, I'm a big believer of working backwards. So setting that intention and then setting your steps to get to that place. It's easy to be in the waiting period, like we were saying before, but I think just surrounding yourself around the right people to motivate you and somebody that you can hold yourself accountable with, of what you're trying to create and why. Someone that you can check in with on a regular basis. And then just, I like the last point a lot is just you're already enough to begin. You just got to start doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy for people to say what they want to do, and it's another thing for people to actually do it. But yeah, I don't know if anyone has any other example they want to share in there.
I'll add something to the whole waiting thing. Just from experience, usually when I wait, sometimes I'll wait so long that I'll talk myself out of certain things. And when I met Gracia, I was a lot heavier. I was like 240 something pounds. And I always wanted to lose weight, and it would always be next week I'll do it. Oh, I'll wait another week, and so forth. And she put me on to, oh, you should eliminate the sugar. I think that's how it began. You should eliminate some of the sodas I was drinking, and I did, and I stopped waiting, and I just did. And now we're talking, it's been 3 or 4 years, but I've lost. And then just taking that part of not waiting anymore, just when opportunities were given, instead of going, let me give it a couple of weeks. I'll just be like, give me a day or two and I'll give you a quick answer. And I've noticed, I don't know, my life seems to progress faster when
Mm.
I don't wait and make excuses. Sometimes I'll go real fast and I may make a mistake, but I tend to try to fix my mistakes in the process of not waiting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Same. And there's so much grace for someone who's able to be like, I gave you a quick answer. I had to make a move and now I have to pivot. And it's okay. That makes sense. And oftentimes people give you that grace because they wish they could make moves that fast. They wish they could come up with answers that fast. And so there's a lot of grace for, I appreciate you being honest and telling me that you goofed and now we got to do something slightly different, because it's not easy just making the move. And a lot of people get stuck in that, I don't know, or let me figure it out. And instead of just doing the thing.
And I think it's important to remember too how easy it is for life to pass you by. And I like what you said, Phil, about how you're noticing that just taking more action, like it keeps the ball moving. Life isn't meant to stay stagnant. And a lot of people just get into a routine and never change anything and then come to realize it's like they have this epiphany of, holy shit, what have I been doing the last however many years? I'm not where I want to be, versus somebody that's willing to take action or make decisions and try things. And even if you fumble your way through it, you're always going to get a lot further than if you just stayed the same.
Yeah, that whole failing forward concept.
For sure, for sure. And to add to, once you stop waiting, then you got to be consistent. So a lot of waiting, you either psych yourself out or you have these thoughts that are psyching you out. So you just stay sad to take initiative. It's not easy. And you're all the problems that you thought were going to happen are probably going to happen, but you just got to just keep going, and eventually change will happen. So yeah, that's all I got.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
It's the
Yeah,
same thing as the gym. Like you have to you're like tearing the muscles and they're going to repair to grow, but that's the only way to grow is like to push through that.
Just a side note, I'm trying to multitask. So I'm like listening and for the most part, but this is all just bringing back the part I couldn't get over last week, the decision of discipline. So this is reminding me of that I'm still working on that, guys. And no, I did not do the bookkeeping that I said I was going to do.
I was going to ask too. I
I
didn't want
know.
to pick on you, but I was going to ask.
I know.
But you feel like you're in that waiting period right now?
Yes and no, because now I'm starting to I'm just going to have to do it and just risk that fear that's there. I'm just going to have to do it. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just going to have to do it.
You got this.
Not the bookkeeping, everything else. So.
You got this.
Oh, thanks.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah, that fear, it's funny because it's always such a hurdle in the beginning. And then when you push through it, you look back on it and you're like, man, what was I even afraid of? But it's just that whole like beginning part of it. You just have to get over that hump. And there's definitely different ways to do that. I think, like we were saying, of having somebody that you can check in with or somebody to hold you accountable of what, like when you say you're going to do something, are you going to do it? And having somebody being on you of, okay, did you get that done? I think we all need that. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't clean my room the first time my mom asked me. It took a couple of times, maybe a couple of spankings to actually get something done. And so I think same thing applies as even though we're adults, we're still conditioned in a certain way that if we're not used to being the ones to hold ourselves accountable, you need to have that other person to be there.
For sure. Even saying it out loud to whoever, just being like, hey, I'm gonna get this done next week, and having them tap in. Jackie did that for me a couple weeks ago. She's like, so how'd that go? Did you end up launching? And I'm like, I did. I actually did. It's out there now. But just having someone tap in makes you, even if you have to tell them you didn't do it, like even if you have to tell them like, no, I actually didn't get that done. Aisha just told us she didn't get the bookkeeping done, but it keeps it that top of mind of like, I did say I was going to.
Yeah,
And
her seeing us was probably like that reminder. Oh shit.
Actually,
right?
I just switched to my computer. Actually, thinking about the fact that tonight was Transformational Tuesday, I was like, oh shit, I didn't do the book.
See?
And then the worst part is, honestly, and this is just an honest fact, I have a tendency of dropping and helping everyone around me, but the things that I have to do, I will freaking procrastinate until the end of this world.
That has been my past 2 weeks. I get it. I'm right there with you.
That's literally it. For myself, I will procrastinate, which is bad. Obviously, we all know that, right? We're all on here for a reason, which is terrible. And I'm trying to learn that now to actually start putting myself first. Because I know for a fact, you know what's crazy? I literally think to myself recently, I was thinking, dude, the moment you get this fucking bookkeeping done, you're gonna have the biggest weight lifted off your shoulder.
Massive.
Yeah, I don't know how far this bookkeeping go back, so we're not gonna talk about it. But the point is the weight of I'm like, and I'm gonna be able to just breathe, sleep, and not think about it anymore. What am I waiting for to feel that relief? I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
fire or something to fucking happen.
Okay, can I challenge you to do 20 minutes every day?
You could challenge me that tomorrow my son is going to be our father, so my plan is tomorrow to work on it all day. I'm actually going to shut down from the real estate world. Ivan, do not
Okay.
call.
Tell him.
Look at his face. Because I feel like we make it this like we have to get it done. Because listen, I am a former accountant, bookkeeper, and I hate bookkeeping. Like former being the key word here. Like I effing hate it. But I would make myself have this, okay, you got to get this done. You have 3 months backlogged. You got to get all 3 months done. We got to knock this out. And it became this like massive thing to where I would just keep pushing it off and pushing it off and extending. And finally I was like, we're doing 20 minutes. I'm doing 20 minutes, and I would get 20 minutes done. And then the next day I would do like an hour, and it just snowballed until I was like further than I was before. And now there's less of it to do. But if you make it this, like, I got to get it all done, or I got to do this huge like task, instead of let me just take little bite size, like I can do 20 minutes. 20 minutes is nothing.
So
Let
that
me
that's
knock out.
feeling more productive. I'm trying to do 20 minutes of a whole bunch of things versus taking my time getting the one thing done that would make my life so much easier, so much more.
And everyone's different. Like
And
different strokes
the
work for
worst part
different people.
we all know taxes for the most part was due April 15th. I saw a message like April 10th that said, hey, don't forget, LLCs in the state of Florida has an extension till April 30th because of the hurricanes. And I'm like, which means gives me more time to procrastinate. Terrible. Mr. Ivan, what's up?
Yeah, thanks, Meg.
No, sorry. Try again. Unmute
You're
yourself.
not mute. You gotta unmute yourself. With all your Zooms, you'd think you'd got this down.
Yeah, you'd think. Have you guys heard of the Pomodoro method? Is this
Yeah,
news to
I rock
people?
that out.
Or like Darren Hardy? So I'm first off, I'm as
Yeah.
busy as anyone, and I have the worst ADHD ever, right? But like when I have to get shit done, and it's got to get done, I just set a timer. I have two
Mhm.
timers on my phone, one for 5 minutes and one for 25 minutes, and I have them to run consecutive. So the moment my 25-minute one ends, I get a break. I can just get up and go somewhere, anywhere. I don't give a shit, just away from my computer, right? And then I'll leave and I'll just go do whatever. And then it'll 5 minutes later, ding ding, it'll go off. And then I got to start over again my 25 minutes. And if you do that in 2 hours, you will power through 25 things that you had to do and you don't even realize it. Oh shit, I thought it was going to take 8 hours. This took four 25-minute sessions. And you'll be,
Exactly.
I gotta redirect.
I don't, yeah, like doing it, but if it's got to get
No, it
done,
helps.
does it.
Huge. And there's like apps for it. I think Ray just put one in the chat. There's like cute little like roly tumbly timers that you can buy from Amazon where like you put it on a certain, it looks like a dice, and you put it on a certain side and it gives you a certain amount of time, and then you roll it and it gives you the 5 minutes or whatever. They've literally made it so that you can't F this up.
again, what's sad, if I just put myself first, I'll get it done. But I get calls all day long. Hey, you busy? I'm like, no, what's up? If I'm not literally in the middle of 1,000 fucking things.
That right there is, oh, my house is flooding. I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do about it? Oh, you're the property manager. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Literally your job.
Meg's got something. What's up?
Yeah, so me trying to do time blocking myself, but I'm always like on other contractors' schedules as well. Like today, for example, I have tree cutting. Like last week, they said sometime next week, electrician, sometime next week. Okay, so I called them yesterday. Hey, do we have a better idea? Tree cutter is maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. Electrician, Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, so it gets to today. And I was like, okay, I can run and do this real quick and then come back and be guess what? I have low, almost flat tire on my Eclipse, so I have to go get that fixed. I was going to fill up in air. That didn't work. So and then here I get my car again, and now it won't start. And my truck also battery died. I'm like, all these little things that I'm like, I don't have time. But then I shouldn't be saying I don't have time. No, I do have time for this. I am my own boss. I can just reschedule tomorrow for this or this. Right now, I have to go get cat food. My poor cat. I was like, you are out of food, aren't you? I forgot to get pork because all these other little things have been happening and distracting me. I'm like, that is the most important thing right now. So it's been hectic.
I think there's seasons for that too, though. And you have to, like, obviously, some of those things are out of your control. And so being able to be adaptable to what life is throwing at you is just the name of the game, like working for yourself and in entrepreneurship. Being cognizant of how you prioritize the things that need to get done. Sometimes you just have to roll with the punches, and that's just the name of the game.
And that's one of my Clifton strengths is adaptability.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wait, we got how's the 75-day hard going? You guys can't just put me on blast. We were both on the radar.
So I did 5 days good, and then it's back to Mountain Dew and what else? But I've been sticking to the reading every day. I've even been making posts like, "Hey, I'm just
Damn Mountain Dew.
I know.
Coffee.
I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee.
No, not coffee. The prebiotic sodas.
The what? Oh, poppy?
Yeah, Olipop or Poppy. That's what I've been substituting my soda craving. When I crave a soda, I have to have one of those cans somewhere in my fridge.
That's right. Okay.
Prebiotic soda. It's 4 grams of sugar compared to the 38 grams or whatever that we drink in a can.
Okay. And it also doesn't have the caffeine.
No caffeine.
Okay, because you're not supposed to have caffeine with the 75 hard.
No, it's good. Try it. I'm telling you.
Okay, I've been doing good on everything else despite failing that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep continuing it because you have to keep those other habits. Otherwise, you lose those habits. If you just, I already screwed up today because I start off with a Mountain Dew, so I can't just say I screwed up. Yeah, no, I continue anyways. I still do my reading. I still try to fit in a workout, and yeah, I still try to. I don't like the picture thing though. Does that have to be a non-negotiable? The picture progress.
You can always do your own thing.
I was just gonna say, I don't give a shit. I didn't create 75 hard, and I don't care if you take a picture. I don't know, but it depends on how strict you want to be with the thing. I say make your own.
It
Like,
depends on if you want the bragging rights to specifically say, "Oh, I did 75 hard." If that matters to you, then yeah, you need to take your damn picture. But if not, then do your own thing because it depends on what is it,
Jackie.
Oh, I just because I've been there and I get I think the only thing of it is being able to say I did 75 hard. But I think if you have your own goals of what you're working towards, you can make it your own thing and it's going to be even more impactful because it's to what you want to do.
Agreed.
All I can hear is Andy Friselli in my ear. This is non-negotiable. Don't change anything.
Just don't call it 75 hard if you change
There you
it.
go.
That's funny. Were you going to say something, Lauren?
I'm absorbing everything that everyone like. I've never done 75 hard. It's just I'm conveniently busy to do it. But the thing is, it's like I've done the artist way, which is like a mental, creative 75 hard. And that shit will change you. Like inside. I've done it a couple times. It's awesome. It's painful. It's all the above. And so
What is
that's
that?
like the artist way.
What is the challenge or what is
The artist way, you got to write 3 pages, like morning pages every day, just longhand, whatever you're thinking every day. And then every week, you got to go on like an artist date or take like the whole concept of the artist way is like nurturing your creativity. And creativity is viewed as like your inner child kind of thing. It's very conceptual. Look it up. Julia Cameron, she's the artist, but she's amazing. And it's all about just nurturing that creativity to almost just rebuild it. Like sometimes you get burnout, whatever, and it's used to reinvigorate that creativity. But it's hard because you got to stay consistent with it, especially those morning pages. Those morning pages start to uncover some almost like creative scar tissue where it's hard for you to move forward from things. I'm not doing a great job of explaining it, but it will change you. How 75 hard changes you physically and mentally, this one will change you on how you, when you don't really wait for inspiration to create, you just do it, if that makes sense. If I could qualify it to one sentence, that's what it would be.
I feel
I
like
like
any
it.
type of consistent action is going to change you,
Yeah,
whatever it is, right? Like,
fasting from certain things in your life and then really pivoting your focus into like focus work, whether it's morning pages or taking a picture of yourself on your phone. It's like as small as it is or as big as it is, as long as those parameters are set, whether you adhere to them or not, that's on you. So it's I just found it funny if you're not going to take a picture of yourself, you can't call it 75 hard. And in my head, I'm like, okay, so it's 75 soft.
I think that is a thing. I've seen people doing 75 soft.
75 medium.
Monica, you want to talk about these practical tools that we had?
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that when Lauren was talking about the 3 pages of writing, because it's one of the, not 3 pages, just 15 minutes, but you might be able to get 3 pages done in 15 minutes. What do I know? But like we talked about last week, where you would pick something and take action on it, it's a similar prescription because it's all about moving forward and taking action. So if you pick one goal, you can write down 3 tiny actions that you can take this week, which is that whole, what I was saying with Gracia, start with 20 minutes, just do a little bit, because then you're moving forward in whatever it is that you're trying to get done or accomplish or create. And then the imperfect launch. So this doesn't have to be about like a product or a website or a business or whatever, but it could be, which is just choosing something that's 80% done. Like you're most of the way there. And a lot of times we give ourselves this perfect, this is what it's supposed to look like. And if it's not this, we're not going to put it out in the world. That's not going to happen. You're always going to find something to tweak. You're always going to find something to do better. So just put it out, whatever it is, whether it's content, whether it's starting 75 soft and moving into 75 hard, like whatever it is, just start. And then I love this last one, which is create before you consume. So it's unfortunate that a lot of people start their day in consumption. Like we wake up and we grab our phone and we start scrolling, or we turn on the TV, or we put on whatever it is. And instead, taking just 15 minutes of just creating something, whether it's writing or brainstorming or writing out like what it is that you want to do for the day, or meditation and create the vision for the day. Just give yourself 15 minutes to decide what your day is going to look like, to make something before you start to consume, and see what a difference that makes.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I was actually listening to a Mel Robbins podcast today. She had some Dr. K on talking about technology and how it affects people's brains. And I think the study is in a lifetime, you'll probably spend 20 years on your phone, which is crazy to think about. But if you think about it, like people are spending like 6, 7, 8 hours a day of screen time on their phone. And it's just interesting because one of the things that he was talking about that stood out to me was that something about the dopamine that you're using. It's if you think of squeezing a lemon, your brain being the lemon, like you squeezed out all of the juice within the first hour of your day. And anything you do after that, you can't really feel the effects of. So any work that you do after that, or it doesn't feel like you're getting anything done because you can't even acknowledge what you're doing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the closing journal prompt, I like this one. It says, what am I waiting for and what could I create instead? So that's a good one to leave you guys with if you want to write that out. Definitely encourage you to do that.
Yeah, for sure. All of that waiting is still time. And instead you could be learning from doing.
Crazy. Anyone else have anything to add? I'll get the music set up, Monica.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something to what Gracia was saying earlier, just because it popped up in my head. She said that a lot of times she's trying to do stuff for herself, and then people call her, and then she gets distracted. I don't know if you're actually listening, Gracia, but the guy that I work for, the contractor that I work for, whenever he doesn't want to be bothered, he just puts that do not disturb on his phone. And maybe she can put that so when people reach out to her, they can be like, oh shit, she's busy. I won't mess with her for that hour or whatnot.
You
So
better own your time, girlfriend.
I know.
just food for thought.
You're actually like the third or fourth person who has suggested that to me recently. Even Ivan has suggested it too.
Oh, okay.
A lot. I do not disturb a lot, but then also like the reminders on my calendars, I forget and I'm like late to Zooms. I'm like, shoot, darn it. They're like, you gotta put a reminder. I'm like, yeah, the do not disturb also quiets the Zoom schedules and all that. So then I'm looking like a slacker. Or
I feel like that could be avoided by just checking what you have coming up before you put on the do not disturb.
my phone died doing my 45-minute walk outside. So my charger wasn't working in the kitchen, but I wanted to get that while wait for the tree guy. And then he texts me on my walk that he blew out a tire, so it's gonna be tomorrow now.
Oh my gosh.
You should be able to create your own custom do not disturb.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I
Who would know the
said that.
secrets? Hey,
Nice.
Gracia, just call Raul for the tech support.
I'll be on do not disturb.
That's funny. But I
I
think
love your
too,
boundaries.
I think with Gracia too, it's also just exploring that because it seems to have been a theme for you of like you not prioritizing yourself, and you know that's the thing. So just looking at what prioritizing yourself would look like, because I think putting yourself first is always going to get you further than you realize.
Yeah, I'm about to have a lot of people real fucking pissed off at me soon.
Hey, let them, right, Meg?
Exactly.
Better not put that
Exactly.
shit on do not disturb.
It's funny.
Hey, real quick, just has anyone ever thought about the fact that maybe making yourself available for other people is your dopamine? It makes you feel useful to know shit.
Yes, I live off being useful. Do you know your enneagrams? Does anyone know their enneagram? Do you guys even know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of
What
it,
is that?
but I haven't looked into
Okay.
that.
Maybe I'll put it in the Facebook so you guys can take the little quiz. But if you are an Enneagram 2, you literally just live off people needing you. And I am a 2. So I get it. I get it. But you have to still own your time and decide when people can need you because you need you.
Yeah, what were you trying to say with that, Ivan?
Yeah.
He just doesn't want Gracia pulling back.
I agree.
I don't know,
It's not like a
I'm-
selfish move.
I'm just saying that it's very, listen, you guys are gonna get yourselves in trouble if you ask me questions. I'm not like I'm listening to everybody. I came because I want to be supportive to a friend who's awesome and supportive to me, but I'm not your demographic. I grew up in a household where you're like, oh, you broke your fucking leg, boo hoo, put some fucking Robitussin and move it the fuck along. I don't really have,
Robitussin fixes everything.
yeah, I don't
wrong.
necessarily have the mushy feelings naturally. They don't naturally just exist within me. So I'm listening and I'm listening to everyone's issue, not issues, but the issue of the day or the topic of the day. And a lot of it is self-inflicted. And I'm able to see it because I don't know about you guys, but I'm 45, so I'm a little older and I wasn't very wise until maybe I'm still not very wise, but I'm a lot wiser as of recently. And I'm more introspective, which I am not naturally that way. I do shit. I'm like, I broke something. Fuck it. We'll never know. Moving on. Right.
Yeah.
But being that I'm a little more introspective now and retrospective a bit, I'm able to sense things and be like, fuck, that was a mistake or that was dumb or whatever. Things that I didn't notice before. And it took me a long time to notice this stuff, to start coming around to realizing some of this stuff because I'm not, again, very introspective. So I'm listening to a lot of you guys and I'm like, these are simple fucking solves.
This is what it's
Agreed.
about every week, though. It's
That's
exactly
literally every week. We gently bring everyone around to inner
about what
work.
we're
Don't say
doing.
That's
gently.
literally,
Gently's not for me.
You
I
need
hear
to be
it.
here every week. What are you talking about? This is all for you.
Yeah. Don't get me
Listen,
wrong.
I'm happy to not be gentle,
Yeah, I'm an
but
over
most people
committer.
don't
I
love it.
commit to everything because I like to help. So I have that issue. I don't think I'm a, whatever you said, number 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm quite that, but that is a portion of my makeup because I do like to help. I do get my rocks off by doing something that makes me feel good about having helped somebody else. So I do enjoy that.
Yeah, and I do agree. That's what when he said that, I completely agreed and understood what he said right from his first sentence because that's literally something that I've done my entire life. It's always going to be me. I'm always looking to help. I can literally be in a supermarket, ask Phil, I kid you not. I can be in a supermarket in aisle 10 and I'll hear somebody in aisle 9 looking for something that's probably right in aisle 10 and I'm looking at it. I will make my way into aisle 9 to go and help these people who did not ask me for fucking help.
That's called being nosy. That's different. That's a
No,
whole
it's just
nother,
always
that's next
trying
week.
to
It's
help someone even in the most simplest way. And it's
true,
always,
she does.
it always
I
Except
goes
she
feel
a
don't
you.
hear
long
me
way.
when I'm like, hey, what aisle is the peanut butter on? She don't hear that. But she hear the next person's what
You're
they
a
looking
grown
for.
ass man. Figure
Yeah.
it out. No.
Let it out,
Right?
Phil. Let it out, Phil.
But I do understand what you're saying. I do, like you said, it's a dopamine for me. Yes, it is absolutely to help other people. And it's naturally something I've always done and I will always do it. But don't call me because I'm going to put myself first now.
Fill your cup first, girlfriend.
But yeah, I get it.
I love it. I love it. Nice. I think that's the point, Ivan. I think you bring up a good point of it's always going to be easier to see from an outside perspective what somebody else has going on and being like, you're doing that to yourself. And I think everybody here knows that about themselves too, and that's the reason that they're coming is to be more aware of the things that are happening around them and figure out the tools that they can implement in their lives to be able to control that better. Because, yeah, even what you said, I'm only 28. I don't know about y'all, but I know that I can learn a lot. I still have a lot of years to learn things, and we all do. I think that learning is something that's always going to be a part of our lives and bettering our lives to really be able to enjoy the life that we have. But yeah, I appreciate your input. Thank you for sharing. Sweet. If you guys want to get into the meditation, Monica,
Yeah.
I'll get this going.
We're about to get soft, Ivan. So get ready. Okay. So everybody get into a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. I'm going to start with some deep breaths. Filling your belly first and then your lungs. And exhaling slowly. Making sure you exhale completely. Taking in 2 more deep breaths. Expanding. With each exhale, releasing things that no longer serve you, obligations, excuses, fear, doubt. Making space for action. For momentum. As you continue to breathe, bringing attention to something you've been putting off or holding back or trying to create a perfect version of. Hold the vision of this creation, whether it's something as small, silly as a piece of content or a text message, or something as seemingly large as a business, whatever it is that you've been waiting to release into the world. And think of one step that you can take, one action that will bring it closer to completion. And then think of how you can take that step and, if needed, cut it into smaller pieces, smaller chunks of time, smaller tasks, and imagine yourself completing one of those small tasks tomorrow. And committing to yourself that you're ready, that you're capable, that it's needed. The world needs more creators, people who are brave and have the courage to put their creations out into the world. Put themselves out into the world and show up. You deserve to be that person for yourself, to move your life in the direction that you want it to go. There will be a day in the future where you look back at all of the indecision, the worry, the doubt, and the fear, and you'll laugh because it'll seem so small. And your only thought was, I wish I had done it sooner. I wish I had just started. I wish I had taken those steps. So I invite you to fulfill that wish of your future self and just do the damn thing, whatever it is. Move forward. Imagine all of that fear and worry just completely dissipating as soon as it's done, as soon as it's over, as soon as it's complete. And then you'll be on to the next decision and the next action and the next project. And one step closer to your future self. To the vision, to your dream. Making progress is the goal. That is your North Star. Forward motion. Anything that is not perfect, you will figure out, as you always have. Take a moment and thank yourself for moving forward. You may want to place your hand on your heart or give yourself a hug and just say thank you. Take a deep breath into that feeling, knowing that it is done, knowing that you can move on, move forward, step forward. Reach higher. Let's take 2 more deep breaths, solidifying our intention, solidifying that vision of completion, not perfection. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Jackie and I so appreciate each and every one of you showing up and sharing, being yourselves. The light in me sees and recognizes the light in each of you. Namaste. And as you come back to the room, feel free to stretch, wiggle your fingers and toes, and slowly open your eyes.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Monica. That was great.
So welcome.
I feel good.
Same. I needed it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Same time, same place next week. We'll be talking about being the energy you want to attract. So definitely
Yes.
looking forward to that one. But other than that, unless anyone else has anything to add, you guys finish out your week strong and we'll see you next week.
For sure.
Sweet. Bye.
Bye, everybody.